Welcome to Houston Newsmakers Extra. We've been talking with Danny Signorelli, the president and CEO of Signorelli Company, and Larry Nettles, who's a partner with Vincent and Elkins. And Danny, the proposed project at Austin Point, that would be what number? You've done several of these developments up to this point.
Gosh, I don't even know. We have projects
for a while.
Yeah, 27 years of development. We have projects in all 9 counties that make up the greater Houston market. So.
And you bought property to do this over the years? You've had to buy property?
That's correct.
And so have you ever run into anything like this or anything similar to this?
I never have. Never had an experience like this.
What does it do to your focus on trying to get this done? Because now you have, on paper, a 4,700-acre community that you plan to put in place, and that means people, contractors and people who want to build and all that kind of stuff, they're on hold while you're going through all of this.
Right. For a long time, it was on hold. At this point, we're moving forward, and we're well down the road. So we're looking forward to awarding some bids very soon and starting construction. But what it does is it is a distraction instead of focusing on offense early on. So let's roll back to 2020 when we were spending a lot of time on this, trying to find a common ground to where we could all move forward. That was on hold. It was an 18-month delay for the project until we finally got into a position to say, you know what, we got to go.
The George Foundation talks about the fact that the land on which the Grand Parkway would be would help to increase the value of their land, which obviously is the case. Certainly, master plan community also does a great deal toward increasing the value. Do you think this is a scenario where both people win with the Grand Parkway? Once it's built, don't you both win some way, shape, or form?
That's the whole point of this, is we're not anti-George Foundation. We're friends. We're partners. We want to work together, right? The whole point that we're trying to make here is there's never going to be a Grand Parkway until there's a whole bunch of houses with customers living in those houses that are going to drive on those toll roads every day.
Or the potential that it's going to be there.
That's right. And so with that, you need a catalyst in the middle of those 45,000 acres of farmland to help make things happen, and that's what we are. That's what we're doing. And so a parkway is a cartoon until things happen that we're doing. And we can't lose sight of the fact that when this parkway is built, there'll be about 12 miles or so of free road through the middle of 20,000 acres of foundation land. What's going to happen in the increasing value of their property, my guesstimate, $600 to $800 million, this little intersection's a rounding error compared to the impact that we'll have on the foundation. So we take pride in the fact that, you know, what we're doing is going to help the foundation do even more good for all the charities that they love.
Larry, how do you advise this process continue? How do you advise that it would hope to get it resolved? I mean, a lot of times attorneys are involved in one side or another, but they're also involved in helping to come to some sort of solution.
Well, so ultimately the road has to be designed and built in acceptable locations. That's the whole point of the environmental review process. It needs to be placed in an upland location, not in a 100-year floodplain, not in the middle of a stream. And so we need to begin the process of getting it in an approved location where it can be built. This is,
you said you started based upon what the Commissioner's Court has said, you started your work to
That's
get
correct.
this underway.
That's correct.
So as far as you're concerned, it's a done deal.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. In the meantime, what's been done for Fort Bend County? How does that work? Do you say, hey, I'm going to pay for it right away, I'm going to give my, how does that work when you, to get access to, it's going across property you own,
So think about 4,700 acres. You don't just put a bulldozer on site tomorrow and start building roads, right? It requires a tremendous amount of engineering and design, hydrology studies, tons of entitlements and structures, such as the things that we've done with the city of Fairchild just south of us, and then with all of that land planning, you release, which in about 60 days we expect to release the first 500 to 600 lots with a builder mix to negotiate contracts to go. And so with all of those things, that's not something that you just do yesterday. You know, so it's, like I said, we're 2.5 years almost into a project, and we've put a lot of work into it.
Their bone to pick, the George Foundation's bone to pick, is not with you. George Adamson made that clear to me. It's not with you. It's with the Commissioner's Court, which has not been transparent about. They say not been transparent about decisions they made about it moving. It's pretty clear that it's been moved. The question is, why was it moved? and when was it moved, and why weren't people notified about it? So, do we agree that that's all kind of happened in the past and led up to this point where we are now? Or is it
Well,
not accurate?
I firmly disagree that there hasn't been transparency. The leadership of the foundation has been involved in presentations requested by the Commissioner's Court to explain both sides and to provide compromises. The foundation specifically said, we like our hand. We're just going to play our hand. They didn't want to compromise. That's the message they conveyed. This wasn't a 30-minute post it and put it on the record to have a 5-0 bipartisan vote, right? The commissioners, I believe, and I can't speak for them, but they made the best decision for all of Fort Bend County, which is about the progress, the jobs, the tax base we create. I mean, everything that we're doing is a benefit from Lamar School District to the entire county, and George Foundation is a huge benefactor of that. So I think they made the right decision.
Danny, Signorelli, Larry Nettles, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Appreciate all you're doing. Good luck on this project.
Thank you.
I may look, because I'm about ready to retire. I mean, this may place.
Awesome. Thank you.
Come down there and stay in Fort Bend County. Go down there. You never know.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir. Always good to see you guys.
Thank you.
Good to meet you. Hey, this is Newsmakers Extra. Share this with everybody.